Al-Qaeda, and Al-Shabaab. Speaking at the African Chief of Defense Staff Conference in Abuja today, he says the security threats have evolved across the African continent, therefore leading to the need for digital solutions to defeat some of the invisible enemies threatening the territorial integrity of the nations in Africa. According to him, chiefs of defense staffs in the African continent must lead the charge in organizing forces invested in cyber defense, artificial intelligence, and local military technology. And without them, it will be difficult to have proper security in the nations. President of Victory Advocates of Nigeria, VAN, Prince Shiyajibola, says the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Ekiti State is 90% ready for the 2026 elections, with only the State Congress left to conclude. Speaking on Adamimogo FM's The Follow-Up, Ajibola reveals that following internal meetings, a new date for the Congress would soon be announced.
We are left with only the state congress that's supposed to be held a few weeks back. But as of today now, immediately after today's NEC meeting, the date will be given as regards that.
The youth leader, hopeful, further emphasized the need for unity within the party, saying that internal disputes and court cases are normal in a democracy.
In any political setting, there is always a room for people to advocate for their right, to say, oh, this is what I expect to happen, this is what is expected to be done. You cannot but find such in a political cycle, most especially in this time of financial campaign.
Ajibola added that the PDP is focused on reconciliation efforts and strengthening its structure from the grassroots in preparation to challenge the ruling APC in the next election. Members of Ekiti State House of Assembly today have said that they were elected primarily to ensure development and not to fight or exchange words with the governor for cheap political gains. The chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Babatunde Oke, said that it will be wrong for the assembly populated by matured minds, accomplished technocrats, and politicians, as well as people of robust antecedents, to be thrown tantrums at the executive in the open. Oke, who spoke at a statement made available in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, faulted an All Progressives Congress governorship aspirant in the state, Kaode Ojo, for labeling the assembly as the rubber stamp of the executive arm, as he urged the people of the state to continue to perceive the legislature as independent, responsive, and with strong muscle and reflex to defend them. But the assembly spokesperson says they consider it as an extreme display of political naivety, amateurish and inexperience for any politicians to roundly brand or rate an assembly as being rubber stamp on account of frictionless dealings with the executive to bolster the evidence of democracy for the citizens. A former presidential aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Benga Olawepo Hashim, has accused the All Progressives Congress APC of operating like an occult organization, accusing the members of not behaving like a political party but like a court group. Speaking with newsmen in Abuja, the PDP chieftain said APC members take instructions from one or two leaders, like zombies, insisted that the ruling party lacks ideology, internal democracy, and vision for Nigeria's future. He accused the ruling party of not delivering on the promise of change, but instead they dragged Nigeria's GDP from over $570,000 $70 billion in 2014 to less than $300 billion in 2025. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has confirmed that he will run for president in the 2027 general election in his quest to rescue Nigeria from poverty. Atiku, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) 2023 presidential candidate and a key promoter of the ADC opposition coalition, disclosed his ambitions to contest against through the spokesperson during the 2023 elections. Tunde Olusole, during an interview yesterday, However, Atiku's declaration is also expected to complicate ongoing negotiations within the ADC-led coalition, which is struggling to balance regional power demands and the ambitions of its leading members. While the former vice president is positioning himself as the coalition's northern candidate, while former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi and ex-Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, both of whom have declared their interest in contesting a portion for the presidential ticket to be zoned to the south. The Kaduna State chapter of the Social Democratic Party has dismissed claims made by former Governor Nasiru El-Rufai that its entire structure has collapsed into the African Democratic Congress coalition. The party, in a statement signed by the state chairman Adamimogo in Kaduna today, described El-Rufai's assertion as spurious, misleading, and politically mischievous. Idris said, contrary to El-Rufai's claim, the SDP remained intact in Kaduna and had no plans to dissolve into the coalition led by the former governor, while they accused the ex-governor of attempting to sow confusion within SDP for his own political gain. The All Progressives Congress has slammed the governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party over their recent criticism of the ruling party. The ruling party accused them of failing their states and citizens while misleading Nigerians with empty rhetoric. This was after the PDP governors accused the federal government of intimidation and anti-democratic actions during the just concluded by-elections in the country. However, in a statement issued today in Abuja and signed by its National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka, APC faulted the PDP governor's comments by describing PDP's claims as hypocritical and comical, insisting that the opposition party was in ruins and had been repeatedly rejected by Nigerians in successive elections. You're listening to News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, transmitted live from Olojudo's Palace. After the break, United States reaffirms the decision on Nigeria visa applicants, cites security reasons. Details of this and more will return.
Hello, good people of Ekiti State and its environment. For your private, political, family, or club meetings, and so on, of not more than 50 to 100 participants, we introduce to you Adamimogo Event Hall. Yes, right at Olojudo's Palace. Adamimogo 107.7 FM's compound, Ido Ekiti. Ample parking space, good security, clean environment. You also have the opportunity to book for a media publicity of your events on our fast-growing social media platforms. All these for a talk. Simply visit us at Olojudo's Palace, Ido Ekiti, or call the following numbers for more inquiries: 0803-526-5812 or 0916-340-0878 or 0806-511-4430. You can also call 0806-380-8891 at Adamimogo Event Hall. We are waiting for your patronage.
To know you're still there, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel via Adamimogo 107.7 FM for happenings around your news inquiries. Please call on the newsroom on this number 0915-786-8095. Now to the rest of the bulletin. The U.S. mission in Nigeria today has reaffirmed that the safety and security of the United States remains the cornerstone of its visa application, stating that Nigerian applicants must provide a comprehensive list of their social media profiles on the DS-160 visa application form. In response, the Minister of Foreign Affairs through the spokesperson, Kemiabire Bienfa, said the best Nigeria can do is to carry out reciprocal action, hinted that some people from the U.S. might want to apply for a visa and they will still do the same measures will be adopted. However, in the statement released today on X, the U.S. mission said the prospective visa applicants undergo careful vetting to maintain a safe and welcoming environment in the U.S., pointing out that the safety and security of the United States is at the heart of every U.S. visa application and decision process, and that is why prospective applicants undergo careful screening to ensure a safe and welcoming environment for all. Media and public affairs analyst Dayo Akintobi stressed the importance of economic cooperation over political integration among West African countries, noting that wide differences exist in national goals and structures, fostering economic ties would yield more tangible benefits. Speaking during an interview today, the analyst further argued that stronger economic partnerships between the countries will be more beneficial than pushing for the single government system, stressing that cooperation will enhance regional development and collaboration.
We need more of the type of cooperation that ECOWAS originally was intended, whereby you have free movement of goods, free movement of people, the ability to go and work anywhere, no residency requirements to be able to move between countries. That kind of economic cooperation, I think, would work better than one government, one president, one army. We can have collaborations.
Akintobi stated that the use of the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS passport, which was supposed to allow a free passage within member states, demonstrates the power of economic agreements. He explained that such initiative make it easier for citizens to deal without restrictions. Former Public Service Reforms Director and Governance Expert Dr. Joe Abba has called for inclusiveness. Sincerely apologize for breaking transmission. Former Public Service Reforms Director and Governance Expert Dr. Joe Abba has called for inclusiveness, transparency, and data-driven decisions in handling the issue of pay rise. Speaking on national television today, he criticized the government for failing to uphold fiscal prudence, noting that the salaries of public office holders have remained stagnant since 2008 due to distortion in the system.
People who run agencies that generate revenue generally earn more. And the basis is, because they are collecting revenue, you need to pay them more so that they won't be corrupt.
He also faulted state governments for failing to pay the national minimum wage, describing it as unacceptable. According to him, governments must show responsibility and adopt prudent practices in order to earn the trust and support of citizens. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board has issued warnings to several higher institutions that violated admission guidelines, describing their actions as an aberration and demand full compliance within 7 days. The institutions summoned to a meeting with JAMB on August 18, 2025, tendered apologies and pleaded with the board to temper justice with mercy after failing to upload their matriculation list for admitted candidates despite conducting admissions on the Central Admissions Processing System, CAPS. JAMB Registrar Prof. Ishak Oloyede emphasized that any candidate whose name is not on the National Matriculation List will be considered not to have been admitted by JAMB, and the admission is illegitimate. Therefore, no such illegal admission will be condoned. At the end of the meeting, the institution resolved to submit informal letters of apology on CAPS within 24 hours, as JAMB stressed that the apologies will form the basis for inserting matriculations list accordingly, which will signal a path to remedy the infractions without punishing innocent students. The Academic Staff Union of Universities has rejected the tertiary institutions loan scheme launched by the federal government, describing it as an insult to the sensibilities of tertiary workers and the heights of mockery of the Nigerian university system. The federal government, through the Ministry of Education, recently launched a tertiary institutions loan scheme to provide interest-free loans of up to 10 million naira to university workers, aims to enhance staff welfare and support professional development as well as promoting financial stability. But while addressing a press conference in Oyo today, the zonal coordinator of the ASU Calabar Zone and Boyne State University, Mr. Ikechukwu Gwenyi, said such a loan is another form of distraction. He said whenever a step is taken to bring the federal government to the dialogue table, they will come up with distractions such as inauguration of new renegotiation panel, integrated personnel, and payroll information system, salaried awards that is outside the principles of collective bargaining, palliatives, net fund, and how tertiary institution staff support loan scheme, which is the height of mockery. On the world of business, Nigeria orders to unlock $100 billion in growing Africa's refining capacity. Oluwapelumi Oshin is waiting to give details.
Evening and welcome to Business Updates. Africa is set to add 1.2 million barrels per day of new refining capacity by 2030, marking one of the fastest downstream expansion globally. According to the newly released 2025 OPEC World Oil Look, this new medium-term growth, led by landmark projects in Nigeria, Angola, and Uganda, signals a turning point for the continental's energy, sovereignty, and investment attractiveness. Still on Business Updates, the Rural Electrification Agency has said that many rural communities across Nigeria now enjoy a stable electricity supply through completed mini-grids projects, with some residents paying higher tariff than Band A customers. Baba Aliyu, the managing director of the agency, explained that the electricity model deployed in rural areas had not only provided reliable supplies, but also demonstrated the willingness of rural dwellers to pay for power. There are rural areas that pay more tariff than Band A customers. That's all on Business Updates. My name is Oluwapelumi Oshin.
All right, thank you, Pelumia Oshin. On the foreign scene, Russian army captures another Ukrainian village. Ayo Gumodede is our guide.
Good evening and welcome to Foreign Updates. The Russian army has today claimed to have captured another village in Ukraine, Dnipropetrovsk region, moving deeper into Ukrainian territory as peace efforts stop. Russian forces are slowly but steadily gaining ground in costly battles for largely devastated areas in eastern and central Ukraine, normally with few inhabitants or intact buildings left. However, Ukraine reported that Russia had launched over 100 drones today, killing a 37-year-old civilian driver and wounded 2 people in the northeast Sumy region. Still on foreign news, Japan's top law enforcement officials apologized to the family of a businessman who was wrongfully arrested and dead after a month-long detention. Shinzo Haishima, a former advisor to the machinery firm Okawara Holy, which had to be the victim, was one of the 3 company executives illegally held in pre-trial detention for months on charges that were later dropped. Moreover, the human rights campaigners had long demanded an end to Japan's hostage justice practice, where later used lengthy retrial detention to coerce confessions. And that is all on foreign news. I am Ayomide Ogumodede.
In the showbiz world, Nigerian actress Etinosa Idemudia says a bowling coach had to undergo surgery. Boluwati Ferotade is in the studio.
Good evening and welcome to the entertainment news. Nollywood actress and filmmaker Etinosa Idemudia says constant bullying and mockery over her body pushed her to undergo cosmetic surgery. Speaking in an interview, Idemudia revealed that her stomach fat caused by PCOS often made her a target. She explained that after consultations, she finally trusted a clinic and went through liposuction. The actress added that her decision was also influenced by the demands of show business, stressing that appearance is key in Nollywood. She dismissed critics of cosmetic surgery, saying whether natural or surgical, the choice should be personal and that the procedure has boosted her confidence, helping her balance both looks and talents in her career. Still on entertainment updates, Priscilla Ojo Nkambala welcomed her baby boy Rakim on the 24th of August 2025, and the internet users could not hold their joy. The news has become one of the hot topics on social media. After welcoming her son, a video showing the fashion influencer going through contractions surfaced on social media. Priscilla could be seen pacing the corridors of the hospital. Apparently, they had tried to see if she would give birth on Jumajok's birthday, which falls on September 1st. But this would have delayed her delivery by 1 more week. However, Rakim, as the baby was named, was delivered earlier. It was also noted that all plans to slay and create content failed as contractions kicked in. Iyabo Ojo could be heard teasing her daughter about contractions in the viral clip. That will be all on entertainment updates. I am Buluwat Ferretadi.
Super Eagles to know their 2026 World Cup fights in December. Let's meet Mayo Lashui for the full details.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Updates. The Super Eagles will learn about their potential route to winning the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the first week of December. Should they manage to do the impossible, Eric Chile's men will know their path to glory when FIFA conducts the group stage draws in December. Nigeria are currently fourth in their group stage, 6 points behind South Africa, who currently sits top with 13 points. The Super Eagles will need to win all their remaining games, starting with the matches against Rwanda and South Africa next month. They will also need other results to go their way if they are to qualify as group winners. Should the Super Eagles miss out on top spot, they could still qualify as one of the second best placed teams. Still on sports, Super Eagles main man Victor Osimhen showed an impressive display after returning to the Galatasaray starting 11 for the first time since his permanent move. Osimhen announced his comeback emphatically, firing Galatasaray to a dominant away victory with a late decisive goal. It wasn't just a goal, it was a statement that Osimhen's peak is not behind him, but potentially getting started this season. With that goal, he managed to win the Bowler of the Week. He immediately sets a high tempo for his campaign, giving Galatasaray a reliable focal point up front. And that's all on sports for today. My name is Mayowa Olashui.
Thank you very much, Mayowa Olashui. And with that sports story, we end this edition of News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM Olojudo's Palace, Duikiti. Just before we go, the highlights again. We brought it to you that Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has urged his colleagues across Africa to invest in modern technology, especially the AI, in the bid to destroy terrorist groups such as Boko Haram, Iswap, Al-Qaeda, and Al-Shabaab. Remember, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has confirmed that he will run for the president in the 2027 general election in his quest to rescue Nigerians from poverty. And lastly, brought it to you that the United States mission in Nigeria today has reaffirmed that the safety and security of the United States remain the cornerstone. Its visa application stating that the Nigerian applicants must provide a comprehensive list of their social media profiles on the DS-160 visa application form. And that's News Express from Adamimogo 107.7 FM on behalf of the production crew led by Mayowa Olashui. My name is Kingsley Inovosa.